Hey everybody, hope you're doing well. I got myself a scotch drink and I'm going to be drawing out and getting started on this wizardry character, Goblin Prince. Hello. Hello. Goblin Prince kind of has like a little bit of a dog face going on. Feel free to ask questions and I'll answer them as I go. Or just, anything. I had done a little bit of a stream with Dan this morning, Dan Warren. If you check out his VODs on his YouTube, Daniel Warren Art. I don't think I need to go so fine with that brush. And get a little bit less sharp. I'm listening to Blind Guardian. Oh yeah, Rails. I've been thinking about that a lot. All that stuff I was talking about with Dan. I'm way too inebriated and tired to rehash that whole thing. But yeah, it's very, very enjoyable to walk through that sort of thing. It was basically like a idea I've been having surrounding like a bunch of things that I'm peripherally understanding about quantum physics, and just basing it off of like while taking it and applying it to work and what you can do. in terms of like goal setting and things like that, which kind of sounds like it doesn't make any sense, but if you listen to it, it makes sense, I think. Making believe I'm at the concert right now in Tokyo. I had my 5-year-old make my scotch drink today. And let's just say he poured me like a triple. It's devastating. It's funny, this dude has like a kind of like a Rottweiler face, I think. It's hard to tell looking at it. Maybe a little bit lionish. I was hoping that I'd be able to do my Marvel cover live, but I don't think I'll be able to. I'm doing like a big one of Thor with a serpent that I was happy with, and I was gonna message them, but I didn't hear back yet of whether or not I could. Looks very much like the animated Hobbit goblins. Yeah, a bit. Those are pretty cool. Those are the ones that I grew up with when I was like a real little kid, renting those from the library. Love those. Love those movies. Did your comment get deleted? I don't know. I didn't delete anything. You've done a few wizardry before. Are you just picking and choosing or planning to do like a certain amount or something? It's just fun. I don't really have a plan. I'm just doing this for streams because it's a bit mindless for me. Like I don't have to think about it at all, and I really enjoy the wizardry art style. And there's something about like these characters within the wizardry like universe, at least for these older games, where the concept art is very pure. It feels very much just like a simple, crystallized little idea of the character concept. And it's nice to go back to that sort of thing because I feel like so many things nowadays are way over designed, and I feel like these are not. And in their simplicity, they have a ton of confidence, and I just really like them a lot. And there's also something to be said for like redrawing these and finding the appeal in just kind of like, yeah, it's almost like a study. Like, why are these so appealing to me? Like Paul Bonner has a little bit of like this type of purity to his fantasy art. But there's something about the texture and the old grittiness and the kind of shitty quality of the upload and just the overall aesthetic of the whole thing is very appealing to me. But that Minnow Demon that I did the other day, that was the closest I've gotten to appealing to that old style and keeping it intact through to like the final painting. All the other ones are just okay that I've done, which is fine because it's not like I'm taking it so seriously, but I'm hitting my stride a little bit more. Am I excited for the new Paul Bonner book? Yeah, of course. I think I pre-ordered it, maybe? I don't know. I probably did. If that was an option. I really like the Out of the Forest one. I think that's what it's called. I have to eventually put out an art book. I've done so much stuff that I just forget everything I've ever done. I need a book where it just exists. So I don't have to ever think about it. Hey, Math. Math Sopa. I'm gonna do this on stage. When I finally get to Japan and I do an art demo, I'm just gonna yell at everybody like that. That would work. What would I call my art book? Something stupid. Maybe just like the big book of stupid, big book of shit. Shit book. Maybe call it shit book. Like shit book 2025. Just go like each year that I complete. Can't tell how ornate his armor is. I feel like it's a little ornate. Like implied, at least. He is a goblin prince. Yeah, Blind Guardian's on. I was listening to Blind Guardian for the Thor painting I was doing for Marvel. Felt like it fit. Okay. That's pretty good. I feel alright about it. Hey, Rails. I'm glad that we could help in some way. Glad that you're pursuing something that's maybe a little unfamiliar for you. I got a message from somebody because I work for Blizzard. I do stuff on Diablo, and I'm gonna wait till he's done talking. It's messing me up. I've had a little too much alcohol to talk at the same time as Blind Guardian. I was gonna say that I got a message on their Slack channel, and it was from an artist who came up through Crimson Daggers back in the day, and they were just telling me that's like part of the reason why they're working at Blizzard right now. And it's just so cool. It's so cool to hear from like anybody who's doing anything. Like I don't take credit for any of that stuff because obviously I'm not there doing the work. But it's really nice to get those messages. Makes you feel old though. Just hearing from somebody that's like, I listened to you when I was a little kid, and now I'm a working professional. Like, oh shit. How long have I been doing this? Shampoo. Yeah, that does happen to me. I don't really use the watercolor brushing clip to erase too much. I mean, sometimes I do, but I just kind of blend away the white part when it does that. But I generally like flip between a few different brushes and things, and I use the kneaded eraser a lot. I want to feel old, Dave. I've been following you since I saw your WoW fan art in Imagine Effects and you were in New Hampshire. Yeah. I don't even know when that was. So long ago. I do have the benefit of having started doing art pretty young. So, I don't feel too old. 2008. Yeah, that sounds right. Yeah, try the kneaded eraser. It's my favorite of the erasers that are in Clip. Look at this guy. Does like a borderline unsolved mysteries styled synthesizer solo. The hell? No thanks. Hey, son, what's up? Son is my real life friend. This a new comic? Nah. I am gonna start getting back into doing the Garfield comic on stream though, so we can alienate some people. I don't know. I might have to keep that stream quiet. We might need to hide that stream. I do need to do it though. I already wrote the comic, so. Was there anything in the state of play that interested you? Oh, not really. I'm trying to think of it. Not really. Nothing I didn't already know about, maybe. I feel like even the stuff I would have been excited for, like Castlevania and all that, the game just didn't look cool to me. It looked kind of cheap. Like it just got like a really serious like indie game treatment, but not like an important game. I was like, ah. And then none of the designs looked very good to me. Sorry to anybody who worked on that that's here. I'm not criticizing you. I just think it's off the mark with what makes Castlevania its own thing. And then yeah, it just didn't seem like good to me. Like that really kind of ugly God of War game. That was just like kind of, I don't know, just looks worse than like PlayStation games to me. And I mean like worse than PS1 games. I didn't see those two, Eric. Maybe I didn't watch like I more like watched the like highlights stuff for like the couple seconds that I was on the toilet, but I didn't see a whole lot. I'll probably go back and watch and just see if anything stands out. It's cool. The ones that I did see though, the ones I just mentioned, I was kind of just a little bit disappointed. Hopefully there's some cooler stuff in there though. I do think there's like a general weirdness with like the quality of things. Like I understand that stuff needs to move more towards like triple I territory budget wise. But I think that, you know, like Symphony of the Night lives in that triple I space. I feel like there's a disconnect with, I don't know, maybe like art direction, priority, the game design. I have no I have no idea. Something's off though. I'm waiting for that triple I space to get knocked up to like PS1 levels of good games. Like I want people to have like big budget game directors living in triple I spaces. That would be cool to me. And given the ability to take like really big swings, like in risks. That's my hope. People need to start gambling on passionate ideas and not stuff they think works. Like just across the board, you know. Looking at all that, like whatever that new Horizon Zero Dawn game is. It's crazy. You're just like, holy shit. Who's that for? I just can't believe that anybody who works there plays or like looks at that and goes like, everybody's gonna love this. I think they go, everybody's supposed to love this. This is one of those games that's gonna make a fortune. One for them, one for us. Like it feels like just strictly led by executives. Like people just focused on making money and that's it. Yeah, live service push. I feel like it's just really embarrassing to me to watch people just spend all this money and time on these things that just have no passion behind them, and just watching them fall apart. It's like, yeah, duh. Like, yeah, I don't know. Yes, of course. Why wouldn't that fail? It's just weird to me that everybody else knows. Except for them somehow. Give us a Legend of Dragoon remake. I mean, I don't even want that stuff. I want just people who really want to make an idea and they love it. I want them to have the ability to take a big risk with a not AAA budget. Like, give people really nice, solid, like indie budgets, and then just see what people come up with. Like, let it be less risky. Because like look what happened with Mugenics, and just like growing that goodwill over time. It's like you just have a pedigree of making good games. That's it. But everybody's so afraid of making money right away. But it's like this horrible cycle because, you know, the thing that happens is like these games start getting made at the peak of whatever's going on. So if there's like a big push for live service, that's when they start making those games. And then by the time their live service game comes out, the trend's over. And now everybody's just coming out with back to back to back same game every time. And you're just like, God damn. It's so boring. Because they weren't betting on themselves, they were betting on somebody else's, you know, vision of whatever, like, that's going to make them money. If they just had an idea that was their own and they were excited to make it, it wouldn't matter how long it took. It would still be relevant when it came out. It's so disappointing. Like, I've worked on games where I've been in the room and just been like pushing back against doing the obvious tropes and stuff with characters, because I know that that's a trend that's going to go away. Like, people are going to get sick of it, and like you can't just keep rehashing the same shit over and over again. I'm like, by the time this comes out, that whole thing you're focused on being important right now is going to be over. So you can't look at stuff that's relevant right now. You have to look inward at yourself and go, what do I like? What do I genuinely like? That's the stuff that's evergreen. That's the stuff that works. Not chasing trends. It does not work. Like, if you're Marvel Rivals, you can do it because there's something else attached to that. You can do something else. Like, what can you do that's new? You can change up how people are doing character designs. Nobody's doing sex sells. Do sex sells. Be completely, like just unapologetic about it. And look at that. Nobody on the market's doing this. And you're Marvel. You have the Marvel IP. It doesn't matter. You could be doing the same shit everybody else is doing in terms of your gameplay. I'm not saying they did, but you could. And as long as it's this at least somewhat new, like a new take on it or whatever, just something that looks seemingly fresh, then it can still succeed. But if you're just coming out and being like, this is my passion project and it's also this shit that's been done to death, it's like, yeah, you're guaranteed to fail. It's so sad watching people chase money like that and just fall on their face. It's just not how anything works. Those guys made Days Gone because Sons of Anarchy was popular. Yeah. Sons of Anarchy and The Walking Dead. Let's just combine them. Who cares? I mean, some ideas are good like that, Some it's not like that's never worked before. Just combine two things. It's like fucking samurai movie in space, and then you have Star Wars, sword and sorcery, samurai western. Why not? What do you think about the art style and direction for Marathon? I think the art direction's pretty cool. I don't think it's super unique anymore. I've seen like a decent amount of stuff that's like that. Maybe not in like the game space, but I've seen that look generally. But I would say it's like if they could get the feeling that was in the trailer with that that dude that was like talking to the computer screen, and he's like sees a picture of, I can't even remember at this point. He's like a little girl or something like that. Whatever that one was, I saw that one and I was like, oh, whatever like the feeling of this is, of this kind of weird, this guy's like lost in something, doesn't quite know what he is, or whatever that was, that's a cool idea. I think just because it ended up being what it was in terms of just being like some multiplayer online game, like that took me out of it. I think the narrative that they had in those trailers, like that's cooler in general. Like I want whatever that like story is that you're hinting at. I'd rather play that game where I get to play like a narrative than play this thing that you're doing. Because I think like that's more interesting. Like let me do the converse to that is like Marvel Rivals. Marvel Rivals is using like fighting game logic in their stuff where like the character designs are just cool. You just want to play that character. Like you're not trying to learn the story in a fighting game. It's just cool to be the character. I think Marathon would have needed to do that, like make really cool characters if they weren't going to let us see that story. Because otherwise I'd rather see the story, whatever that story was from the trailer. I'd rather play that single player game, whatever that is, version of Marathon. but I don't think the art style is cool enough to be like random characters that aren't that interesting. I don't think it's cool enough to be a hero shooter type of deal. Because then it would need to be like, then, you know, I don't know. If the hook is, because it feels like the hook isn't the gameplay. At least not for me when I'm watching that. I don't see that. I see the hook being like the narrative world building thing. Being like, ooh, that's an interesting art style and narrative idea. And then I'm like, oh, but that's not what we're doing. It's like, well, then you should have pitched it as like a Rainbow Six Siege type of thing where like, who cares what these characters look like? The gameplay is really interesting. The team dynamic and blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like there's like a weird marketing disconnect there for me. It feels like they're marketing a different game than you're going to play. And the appeal is still in the narrative for some reason. Are there more Starvale comics planned? Yeah, I mean, I wrote all that. I just need money. That's it. I need money and time. It's brutal. It's so hard to do a comic. Like, it's not like I'm not like suffering financially, but it's like I can't take time to do a comic. It's way too much of an investment. A mix between the art style of Marathon and the narrative of Bioshock would be pretty cool, I think. There's potential in what they showed. Yeah, just something else that lets you go in there, you know, whatever the strength is of that IP. I just don't see the strength being the like whatever multiplayer gameplay forever online loop. Like some games do that really well where they market it that way and you're like, "Oh, this is a gameplay first type of game. Who cares what the story is?" I remember when they announced it, all my friends went from hyped for a new modern take on Marathon to zero interest because of being an extraction shooter. Yeah, me too. It's strange, all the intrigue and world building they're doing, only for the game to be you running around getting called gamer words via proxy chat. Yeah, exactly. It's like none of that story stuff feels like it's just tacked on. Like it doesn't really matter that it's there. It's like, why even do all that? It's like, to me, that feels like they're planning their fanfic. You know, like in a game where there's no story, but there's like a cool looking character. People will like come up with a story for that character. It feels like that. Like they're preempting that by making their own world for it. It's like you should have just led with the strengths of the game first, and then if people ask for that and they want to know more or there's any interest, then you can do that. Dave, how much story is written? How many drawn pages would you imagine? For Starvale, the whole thing's written. It's written like 2 times over. I've already done it. How long is it? The script itself, at this point, I think the final script was around 80 pages. It's between 80 and 100. It's been a while since I read it. I'm revising it like here and there, so there's a decent amount changed, but it lives around there. I can't imagine how many pages it is drawn, but a lot. Stealing art from independent artists kind of killed the game for you. Yeah. That was a tough thing to come back from. That whole thing where like the art director was on stream just dying inside. I don't envy that position, but that was really funny. People watch Marvel movies but hardly read comics. I wish we could have a similar market to Japanese manga. More people would make comics. Yeah, but it's very cultural, you know. We don't have the same culture where people take in that sort of stuff. I could totally thrive in that Japanese market though. I can hit those deadlines easy. That's the only thing you do. Come on. I don't even need assistance. All I gotta do is draw cartoony faces that don't have any lines. Incredible. Incredible. Whoops. Oh boy. Oh my god, what the heck? What happened to my window? Just threw it off my screen. Go help finish Berserk for them? Dude, I would. I can do those super detailed drawings. No problem. I still think Dan and I's Batman idea is the best idea. I want to do that one so bad. It's basically that Batman is a dude that's like the whole city's playing into him, making believe he's a superhero because his parents were a big deal in the city and he lost them and he had a mental break and he's having huge major issues. So then he goes out and they all, like the police all make believe. They like put, you know, they put supervillains in jail that are like just cops dressed up in costumes that pretend, and then they let them out that night to make them feel special. And he starts to get a clue into what's going on. If you ever listen to that stream, it was very good. That would be my... If I could do a Western comic, I would do that. Have it start out as really cool, and then find out something's wrong. Something's off about this. I'm gonna hop off of here in a minute. I'm happy that I got all the bass lines down. That's pretty good. I'm already on to the rendering part. Not bad. You guys stick with the same colors too? Somewhat. I like how my eyes are starting to fade. I'm like looking at this and my eyes are just like turning off every once in a while. Oh my god, shit. I've been doing too much art. Or I drank too much scotch, I don't know. One of them. One of these is the issue. Yeah, anybody who messaged me in the past like 3 weeks, I'm sorry if I just ghosted you completely, because I have been gone. Like, I am a monster. I've just been locked into deadlines constantly, so I do not exist. Every moment I have, I was doing something. I think I worked on... Let me think about it for a second. I worked on about... like 4, maybe 5 different video games. Just... It's crazy. I had a bunch of those who am I here again moments, which is referencing a very specific film called The Stepfather. But I would just be like looking around for a second, like, oh fuck, what am I doing? What is this? Where am I? What happened to the other job? I was just jumping from thing to thing to thing, not quite knowing where I am. So go right. I gotta switch up what I'm doing. I'm not telling you this stuff to sound cool. I'm telling you that I've just been a mess. And I am a mess. And I'm gonna hopefully stop being such a mess. I have lined up a ton of stuff for Patreon at least, so that's nice. Hey, Mr. Clean. As you were mentioning the jobs, do you take all of those because it's exciting, or do they just make deadlines and say more and more at AAA's? Uh, I take on jobs that I like, for sure. But um, it's more that I just stacked stuff too much. Where I was just doing so many deadlines at the same time. And they kind of just... I had them scheduled out so that they didn't all crush up against each other, but I still had to like switch and hop between each thing towards the end of each deadline. So it was just like a lot, and then that I only just got to the end of that a couple days ago. And then I'm already at such a crazy pace that I just start doing tons of random stuff for work for me. Thankfully, Marvel's always there. So if I have absolutely nothing to do, I can just reach out to Marvel, and then by, a couple hours, I have like 3 or 4 different things I could work on. I just go, okay, cool, thanks. How much of this painting style is influenced by your brush? Like, could you achieve the same feel with basic round brush, or would it be a different approach to the piece? I wouldn't do it with the brown brush. It would be a different approach. I've done like similar things to this in Clip Studio. And then I would use different brushes if I were in Photoshop, but the way the drawings look in this, and the brush is reacting the way I want to in Krita, it makes it just way quicker and it's more appealing to me. So it's hard to really compare it to any other program in terms of approach. This just feels very like intuitive and quick. Just having a brush behave like exactly how you want it to is very like appealing. When do I call a piece done? I mean, just when it feels appealing to me. Where I go, okay, good. That's about all I wanted to do. Texture feels good, feels cool. I don't need to overwork it. Fine. Nice. Okay. All right. I'm gonna hop off here. Thank you all so much for hanging out. I appreciate you, and I'll see you next time. If you want to check out recent stuff I've been doing, little bits of processes and whatnot, you can check out my Patreon, patreon.com/Dave Raposa. I'm going to be updating that regularly now that I have like a whole stream of work ready to go. Pretty happy with it. But anyway, love to you all. I'll see you next time.